Please welcome John.
Hello guys, hi. Listen, I'm just going to put a mic into your house a little bit later. I'm just going to carry that for a minute. Right. Okay, brilliant. Right, first of all, thank you for allowing me to gate crash your village concert. I'm not a Hilderstone resident, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Okay, so that's first of all. So, if I seem a little bit flustered tonight, okay, there's a couple of reasons for that. So, first of all, I've been walking into a lot of fridges just lately. It's been a bit of a worrying time, not to say very painful, but I have been to the doctors and it turns out I'm colourblind, so... And then the other one is, we were due to move this week, which is stressful enough this close to Christmas, but then on top of that, we just found out our house has got a poltergeist. So, you know, everything's up in the air at the moment. Yeah. Now, a couple of other things that I probably should mention before I start properly. So, there's this, okay, first of all. Now, this has been there since first thing this morning, yeah? It's been extremely irritating. I mean, I'm sure you guys know yourselves how annoying it is when you get a song stuck in your head all day. And then also, why am I wearing a string of garlic around my neck? Yeah. Now clearly Halloween's long gone now. I'm not particularly superstitious. I'm not trying to ward off vampires, anything like that. It is simply a very enjoyable thing to do. Okay. In fact, it's probably the most fun you can have with clothes on. And of course, if I get a little bit too warm later, I can also take some clothes off, so it works that way as well. Okay. Now. All I'm going to do in the few minutes that I've got left is just tell you a few things about myself, if that's going to be okay. And then the last couple of minutes I've got a little festive thing, because I realise my act isn't exactly very Christmassy as such, okay? So, I'm married, okay? So I am married. My wife is she's in the audience actually tonight, she's a very talented lady. She's good at lots of different things, but she's a particularly good cook, yeah? But even I would not have believed that people would pay money online to watch my wife bake quiche. But hey, how wrong can you be, because she's making a fortune on OnlyFans. Now, I say I'm surprised by that. In actual fact, I'm not. Because as we all know, you can pretty much find anything you want on the internet these days, and plenty of stuff that you probably wouldn't want as well, okay? Yeah? Now, I have it on very good authority that there's a lady online who, for £50, yeah, and I'm sorry to be a little bit rude here, I do apologise, for £50 will beat you across the bare bottom with a chocolate bar, okay? She's a dominatrix. Now, I love my wife, I do, and if the worst were to happen, I would want something to remember her by. Yeah. And I said to her the other day, I said, listen, if you were to die unexpectedly, could I use your skin to make an armchair? Okay? But she wouldn't be swayed. Now, I do. She walked in the house the other day and was lying on the sofa. Okay, and I slightly panicked because, you know, she's not always the easiest person to reason with, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind me saying that. I was lying on the sofa. She said, "John, what are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be baking a cake?" I said, "I am. The recipe said put the mixture in the fridge and chill for an hour." That is exactly what I am doing. She said, "Oh, you think you're so clever, don't you? Weren't you also supposed to be mowing the lawn?" I said, "Yes, I was." Got the lawnmower out? No problem. Got the extension cable out. What did it say? Unwind completely before use. I'm still unwinding. Honestly. In all seriousness, I do try and be a good husband, I do. And again, guys, you'll know what this is like. Sometimes I just don't quite listen well enough, or I just get things slightly wrong. I was at home the other day in the living room, and I was like, if I could turn back time. And I went upstairs to the bedroom, and I was like, if you believe in life after love. Back down to the kitchen, gypsies, tramps and thieves. Anyway, my wife heard all this going on. She came in and said, "Listen, John, when I said you need to do your share around the house, that is not what I meant." Now, If I'm out and about and I see something that I think my wife will like, I will ring her. I'm quite good like that. And I was in the chemist the other day, and in front of me in the queue was one of the pet shop boys, yeah? And she's quite a big fan, so I gave her a ring. So I told her, and she said, well, what's he buying? So I had a quick look, rang her back, and I said, it's aspirin. Sorry, one for the bit of a niche one for pet shop boys. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the hardest things I think to do, in a relationship, but just generally as well, is to say sorry, isn't it? Yeah? Apologising is a really hard thing to do. And which is why, if I hear about somebody in a public position that finds the humility to say sorry for something they've done wrong, I think that is really good, and it can set a really powerful example for other people to follow. So I was very heartened to hear recently that the California State Fire Department have finally, it's been a long time, apologised to Alicia Keys and accepted that when she rang up to report an out-of-control barbecue, they should not have made her sing, "This grill is on fire!" before agreeing to attend the scene. It was wrong, simply wrong. It really was. I've got two children as well, 13 and 14. Now, I think with hindsight, maybe not the best names to choose, but hey, it's too late. Now, when my children were very young, we put them in a nursery called Dirty Dancing Daycare. Okay? And a big part of our reason for choosing that nursery was the tagline. I remember it now, it said, "Dirty Dancing Daycare, nobody puts a baby in the corner." Which I think is the least you expect. Now my son is 14 now, and to be honest, he's giving us a little bit of trouble, as I guess a lot of 14-year-old lads do. The other day I had to apologise, and I mean really apologise, to our neighbours, the Hall family, okay? And then sit my son down and explain that deck the halls with boughs of holly did not mean what he thought it did. He was way off the mark. He really was. And my daughter, she's 13, she's a good girl. She causes no trouble at all. But she's got a couple of things that she's really into, she's really passionate about. One is horse riding, okay? Now, you're a group of people from Hilderstone. If there's one thing I don't need to tell you about, it's horses, I'm sure. But she phoned me up the other day and she said, "Listen, because I've got mixed feelings about horse riding. Because A, it's not the cheapest hobby, I've got to be honest, okay? And secondly, it's dangerous. You know, horses are kind of big, unpredictable animals. So she rang me up the other day and she said, "Listen, Dad, don't panic, don't worry, but I've had an accident during my riding lesson." I said, "Have you been booked off?" She said, "Well, I wasn't happy, that's for sure." Sorry, I should have said, were you booked off? No, I'm not happy, that's for sure. Now, the other thing that she really likes is gymnastics, okay? She's really into gymnastics. Now, and the place that she goes to are so good, because I haven't paid for any lessons for ages, and yet they still keep sending emails telling me she's got outstanding balance. So clearly she's doing very well. Proud dad. Right. Now, what I'd like to do for just the last, just a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
Sure, okay, right. Just for the last little bit, because I realise it hasn't been very Christmassy, has it, so far, to be fair. Okay. So what I've done, in an effort to make this slightly more Christmassy, I've brought along a very festive stocking. And in this stocking are some crackers on bits of coloured cards that I've made myself. And on these crackers I've written down some, not jokes, because I think that jokes are a bit old hat, a bit naff on this sometimes, but I've written some little facts that you might not a lot of people know. Yeah? So you're going to be educated here as well as entertained. Okay? So, this is where, can I have your help then, yeah? So can you pull out one of the crackers and pass it to me, and I'll read out the fact, okay? Yeah? And I promise you these are genuine true facts. I have not made any of these up. I would not do that, seriously. Okay? Right, what we got? Okay, right. A little Swiss mountain girl accused of stealing a wallet was sentenced after she was picked out in a Heidi parade. And another one. You're going to be busy. Feel free to groan. I sometimes call it this bit the groan zone. These are really bad ones. Okay, right. The Titanic had a sister ship called the Italic, which didn't sink, just leaned to one side. And another one. Well, you could get your sister, you could get your sister cap if you want to. I don't know. You're doing a very good job. Right, or a green one. Right, okay, here we go. Okay. Right, in a recent survey, the number of people that said they dyed their hair was surprisingly low. In fact, it was just 4 men. Keep them coming. People are starting to worry how many are in it now, aren't they? It's not that many, I promise you. A Swedish person will never listen to the Beatles, but a Norwegian would. Keep them coming. There are 12. I'll say there are 12. Okay. Yes, here we go. Prince William employed his own personal monk after he heard that air fryers were all the rage. See if you can find a red one. Oh, you did. Well done. Very good. Okay, super. Okay, what have we got here? Okay. Right. If you drop a feather and a bowling ball in a vacuum, you'll probably need to buy a new Hoover. It's another red one. Here we go. Okay. On a night out with his friends, Tom Daly will often receive free soft drinks as he's the designated diver. There can't be many left now. Keep them. We must be down to the last 2 of them. Oh dear. Right. Rastafarians are rarely seen on canal boats because they dread locks. You're doing a very good job. Dick Fosbury achieved international fame despite his greatest invention being a flop. There's hope for us all. There's hope for us all. Any more, or are we done? There it is, there's one more. Could this be the last one? Okay. None of the Boomtown rats will drive a Korean car as they don't like Hyundais. Is that the last one? Oh no, it isn't, it isn't. Oh, there's 2 more. There's 2 more, right, okay. I will quickly do these, and we have got, okay. January the 2nd is sometimes known as Channel Ferry Day, because people eat everything that's left over. No. 1 or 2 chuckles, not many. And the very last one you'll be relieved to know here, I'm sure. Small pupils can be a sign of drug use, which means the head teacher of my local primary school has some explaining to do. Right, okay. That's me, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Appreciate it.
Big round of applause for John. John Harvey, everyone. Thank you so much, John.